So we're going to start with what I think, I always like to start with an easy card. Get your eye in first. So I'll move these out of the way a minute. So I'm going to start with this little one here. Okay. So from your kit, you're going to need one of the red card bases. You're going to need this piece of paper, which is green dotties on one side. Woohoo! That makes your eyes go funny. A sort of a plaid on the other side, but we're using the green dotties. That's the technical term. So you've got a little piece of white cardstock and a piece of red that it's going to sit on. And the measurements for those are, the white is 6 by 9 and the red is 6.5 by 9.5. So if you can find that one. And then also we're going to use the red twine. Okay, and 3D foam and some other little bits and pieces. But that's the major part of this card. So the first thing we're going to do, card base, we're going to fold in half. Okay. First things first. Give it a crease. I might not set a bone folder. Hopefully you've got a bone folder with you. Give it a good crease. Okay. So then with the DSP, we're going to cut it at 10 by 14. So that's centimetres. So 10 by 14 centimetres. So I'm going to cut a slice off that's 10 centimetres. I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it down to 14. It's about the size of the card front. Don't need those anymore, we've put those out of the way. So we can add that straight to our card base. If you're happy to stick that on, we can do that straight away. Oh, that's quite pretty as well, isn't it? I didn't even notice the other side really when I made it. I was liking the green. So it will have a nice little border around it. So if you sort of centralise it, could have probably chopped it bigger than 14 by the looks of it, but anyhow. Okay, so we've got that. So now if you take these two bits, this is the bit we're going to stamp on to begin with. So I'm going to need an acrylic block. So I'm using, so I've got two different size trees. I'm going to use the bigger one, aren't I? Yeah. And I'm doing it in Mossy Meadow because that's the colour of the pattern paper. Oh no, I know what I'm doing. I've got to stamp my trunk first. These little bits are going to be quite different for everybody because it depends what you're going to be doing. But I'm going to just stamp, because my trunk is separate to, sorry, I'm concentrating, to my tree. So I'm just going to stamp my trunk in early espresso. So if that works, if you've got something similar, then you do that. Else, I'm just going to stamp my tree in a minute. So I'm just going to line this all up a little bit. Try and get it straight. That would be nice. And I'm going to have it about there. That'll do nicely. Give my stamp a bit of a clean. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp my Christmas tree image in Mossy Meadow. Okay, try and get it all lined up. I might have to put my head in front of the camera. I apologise if you see the top of my head. Ooh, that'll do. It's not quite on top of it, but it's pretty good. Give that one a clean. Okay, so when you've got your image stamped and you're happy, we're just going to layer it onto the bit of red that you've got. Okay, once you're happy with that, I'm going to tie the trim. Now, if you look at my card, I've done it. We are going to use this on another card, so don't be too over generous, but obviously use enough so that you can tie a... I didn't do a bow, I did a knot in the end. We've got to make quite a large bow on another card. So I've gone twice around the whole thing and then I've tied it in a knot. All right, so you can attach it around the back. So I'm going to... Okay, so wrap it round. Well, the second time can be the tie. So I'm going to chop it about there. Ooh, hang on. It's a funny angle, I can't cut it. My scissors are broken. I don't know why I haven't bought myself any new scissors. But they're my favourite scissors. But they make it a bit difficult to use now. So this bit we're going to use later. So put it somewhere safe. So I'm going to put just a little bit of runner behind just to give it a bit of security back there. Tie it round. Yeah, I'm doing it in a little knot. But if you want to do a bow, you can. Okay. So we're doing a sentiment, which I forgot. So we've got a spare piece of white, Whisper White in your kit. It's quite a large piece. It looks like a card base, but it's not a card base. The only white card base you will have has got a fold down the middle of it. So don't use that one. This is just one piece of Whisper White cardstock, okay? So we're going to do the sentiment, which is on a banner that sits down here. So obviously the size of your sentiment's going to dictate the size of that banner. So I'm going to do it exactly the same as here. And you do it however that works for your sentiment, okay? So I'm going with Joy and Cheer again, and I'm doing it in real red. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment first, and then I'm going to chop it down to size. I don't know if that's the best way, but that is the way I'm doing it. Okay, I need to line this up relatively straight. Getting things straight live, that's always the thing I struggle with. Okay, let's go with that. Oop. So we're going to make it into a banner, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of space. Oh, that's not straight. It'll all come good in the editing, I'm sure. Put that over there. So now I'm going to cut it down to the size I want it and cut little triangles in the edges to make the banner shape. Oops. Okay, so... dear, my life. Okay, let me see if I can save it. If not, I'm stamping again. Ooh, that's not too bad. Oh, it's a little bit dodgy. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little snip in and then cut from each corner to the middle. So what my suggestion is to position your sentiment so you're happy. And the nice thing about this dotty paper is if you've cut it straight, I think I might cut mine straight. You can use the lines just to make sure your sentiment's straight as well, which probably is showing up my lack of straight cutting quite nicely. But anyhow, so position that, and then we'll stick that first, and then we'll stick the tree on with 3D foam. Okay, so let's attach the sentiment. Oh, hello, it's moved. Everything moved. Okay, so let's stick that on centrally. Okay, and then 3D foam. Okay, so let's stick some 3D foam on the back. Oops, oh dear, that was a bit rubbish. Take the little backs off. And then stick that on to the card. All right, and once you've done that, you can stick some prettiness on. So you should have, I think you might have 2 red ones and 2 green. It seems like I didn't have enough to give myself a whole red one. So I put a sparkly one on the top, a little top tree ornament, and then I did a few red ones because they match the real red around. So however that works for you. There we go, that is the first one. That is a pretty simple card, but I think it's pretty, it's effective. You could probably jazz that up in many other ways that you felt that you wanted to, but as cards go, pretty darn cool. So the next one we're going to make is this one, okay? And this is the one where we're going to, if you can and you want to, we're going to cut the circle out of the middle, so you might want to be ready for that. So let me put these 2 cards away. So what you're going to need for this one is this already embossed red card base, okay? Then you're also going to need this Pear Pizzazz cardstock. It's 9 by 11. Let me just check I've got that measurement right. No, it's 8, because I was just checking that because I've corrected myself on there. It's 8 by 11, okay? You're going to need the spare white piece of card for stamping. You're going to need a couple of little yellow stars, and you're going to need this pattern paper, which is, that one is the red, it looks a bit like flooring, doesn't it, on the back, but it's got the white base with some little dots on it. All right, so we're going to need this piece of pattern paper. Now, I also have given you in your kit a circle which is already embossed. So this is going to be my cheat if you are not able to cut a circle out. Because if you can see, I've cut a circle right through the Pear Pizzazz card and the pattern paper. But I was thinking if that doesn't work, then you can just fake it and put this and we'll just pretend you've cut it out. So either or, absolutely fine. Works either way. All right, so we are going to first, my instructions say we're going to stamp 2 trees first. Okay, so I'm stamping 2 trees in Pear Pizzazz. So I'm doing the larger trees in Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to cut these ones out. All right, so that's why we're doing it on the spare piece of Whisper White. Is that going to go through my... Yes. Okay. Oops. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to cut them out, so... Okay, so I'm going to cut them down the bottom here, give myself a bit of space. Clean. Whoopsie. Now the nice thing about this stamp set is that this does cut out brilliantly with the triangle, stitch triangle dies, but a triangle is pretty easy to cut out, isn't it? So I've cut some out with the dies and I've cut some out by hand because just to show that it's easy to do both. So if you did have the stamp set, you can just cut them out by hand if you liked. Okay, so let's hope I can do this right, because yes. All right, so I'm going to cut mine. Woo! Whoopsie. So these ones are stitched. Oh no, my magnets are going to cause me a problem. I might have to cut it out actually, because it doesn't want to sit. Oh, come on, don't be annoying. Okay, I'll go with that. Let's hope it doesn't make my tape. Whoopsie, my table wobble too much. Sorry if it does. Okay, there's one. Put that safely over there. Give this a little chop down as well. And cut this one out. And can you see that it's stitched on the outside? They're lovely. I really like these dies. Okay, let's put that one away safely. Put that away for a minute. Oops. Okay. Oh, I should probably need to do my trunks. Hang on a second. these out by hand. Pretty simple. Oops. And drink. Two trunks. Put that in safely over here. Okay. So when you've done your trees or whatever it is you're stamping, we're going to cut from the pattern paper the same size as this Pear Pizzazz. So that's 8 by 11 centimeters. All right. So if you do that, they are really nice. And yeah, the dies are really nice. And I've seen some lovely scrapbook layouts, and they just make really pretty geometric shapes, and I'm a bit of a geometric fan, so yeah, I do like things to be really neat and fit really well, and you know, what can I tell you? So it's 8 by 11 centimeters, okay? By 11, put that safely out of the way. Now this is where if you aren't going to do if you're not going to cut your circle out and you're just going to, let me show you what you're going to do. You're just going to stick your circle on the top, like a faux cut circle. If that's what you're going to do, then no, you still can follow this little bit. Actually, so what we need to do is we need to put it at a jaunty angle. This is something that I'm a little bit not very good at. I'm good at straight, not so good at jaunty angles. So the way to do it is you have your Pear Pizzazz straight, but we're not sticking this to the card yet. Okay, we're just positioning this. So you have your Pear Pizzazz straight, and then take your pattern paper and basically put it at an angle where that corner almost touches the card edge and that corner almost touches the card edge. And we are actually going to stick that to the Pear Pizzazz, not to the card front. Okay? Lost my glue. Okay, down on the floor. So Pear Pizzazz straight, but not stuck to the card front. And then position that okay, so you know it's in the right position, it's stuck down, but it's not stuck to your card front. So if you're going to cut your circle out, this is when you do it. If you don't, this is when you're going to fake it and put your little bit of embossed circle on the front. Okay, so we are going to cut the circle. Is it in the middle? It's pretty much in the middle. So my circle is a 7 centimetre circle. I've got the layering circle framelets. All right, so is it in the middle? It is in the middle. Okay, we're going with it. Now, because we're going through a couple of pieces of card and paper, you might need to go through a couple of times, but it's pretty good. They cut pretty well. So now you've got this big hole. Put my circle die away safely. Oh, where's my base? There it is. That's going to stick to the front, and remembering that we're going to put a sentiment down here, okay? So leave yourself enough space for that. So yeah, we're going to stick that on the front. Give myself a bit of space for the sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to stick that there. So when you've got that on, you're going to position your two trees, and we're going to stick them on with 3D foam again, and they're going to slightly layer each other. So one slightly behind and one slightly in front, obviously. And they sit on top of the circle. Where's my 3D foam? So trees and then stars, trunks and then stars. Okay, so let's put some 3D foam on the back of the trees. Okay, so let's get them positioned. I should probably move that. Yeah, hang on. I had this thought last time I did it. Because that's gonna. Oh no! Put that one in the middle. So the trees are straight. It's only the paste of pattern paper that's wonky. At an angle. We shouldn't say wonky. Okay, and my little trunks are going to need some little 3D foam, so I'm just going to cut those out of the edges here. That might be too little. From there. Too big. Too big. Okay. Oops. Okay, so match my trunks. Oh no, he's in the wrong place. Be all right. And then your stars on the top. If you prefer more sparkly stars, then you know, feel free. But this is what I had, so I thought I'd go with these stars. Okay. Now I've only got a little sentiment, so mine is going to, what does mine say? Christmas is best when we're together. How true. I wonder if I can, Okay, I'm doing mine in early espresso. Let's see if I can actually get mine straight this time. It's because I've got a lot of light shining on things. I'm going to put my head in the way. Oh no! Oh, that's a bit better. Get that clean. Okay, so then I'm going to cut my sentiment out. This one as well has a little banner. I'm a bit banner-centric, I don't know what the word is. But, so if you want to leave yourself a little bit of space when you cut it so that you can, which way is it going to be? That way, isn't it? Can't work out where the banner bit is. Oh yeah, that bit goes on the edge. It's making me go, what? What the? Enough space, or is that too big? Chop it down just a tad. That's all right. And again, I'm going to cut a little triangle into the end. Okay, and when you're happy with that, just stick it on. Depending how much space you've got, it does, if you want the base of it to sit right on the edge of the card, you can give yourself a little bit of space around it if you like. And then with your sparkles, some sparkles on. I'm going to run out of my red ones, which is always a bit of a shame. Oh, oh. Oh no, have I left some glue behind? I have! Oh no! Don't use the glue. That's better. To make sure you get your nails underneath it when you take them off. There is a tool, and I should be using it because I do have it. Oh dear. Alright, and that is our second card. So I'll move those aside. All right. So this is our next one. So you are going to need the white card base that's got the fold in it. You are going to need this DSP, this paper. It's got a red and white little pattern on the front and a very bright stripy pattern on the back. Wow, that looks weird in my camera. So you got that one. And then you're going to have 2 pieces of cardstock. You've got a strip of Pear Pizzazz that measures 14.5 by 8 and a piece of white, which should be the same. So it's got 14.5 by 7.5. So there's no border at the top and the bottom, but there's borders on the side, okay? So you want those two. And then we're going to use this ribbon. Okay, first things first, let's fold the card base. All right. And we're going to cut this DSP. Now this is a bit of a specific 10.3 by 14.5. It basically just wants to fit on the front of the card base. So I obviously measured it very exactly. So it's 10.3 by 14.5. So I don't really have 10.3, but by 14.5. So it should have a teeny tiny border of white around it. Okay, so when you've cut that, you can stick that to the front of your card. Oops. Okay. All right. So once you've done that, we're going to cut out 3 of the trees. All right, I'm going to do 2 in Mossy Meadow and 1 in pear pizzazz. I keep wanting to say pearl pizzazz, which doesn't make any sense because the pearl is not green, is it? So yeah, so 3 of your medium, whatever things you're cutting out, stamping. So I'm going to do 2 in Mossy Meadow and 1 in pear pizzazz. If I can find my glue block, there it is. And we're going to cut those out. Right, I'm going to do them down here. Oop. 1. 2. 2 of those. And 1 in pear pizzazz. Now I'm going to cut these out with my dice. I'm just going to cut them a bit smaller. Help me out. I've left myself another cardstock. Oh dear. Right, cut these ones out, and then I've got to cut my trunks out as well. Sorry, I won't quite. I have to line them up. They're quite specific to line up. That one I've missed slightly, actually. It's a bit of a shame. Hopefully that one's a bit better. Oh, yes. Oh, it's all right. And then last one. So have you all seen the new Stampin' Emboss machine? It looks so pretty. Oh dear. I'm a little bit tempted. I've just bought the new cutter actually. I haven't got it yet. Oh. But I'm looking forward to having a play. See what it's like. Okay, is that right? Yes, I think so. Brilliant. Okay, so there's my 3 trees. Let's die away again safely. It does, doesn't it, Zoe? Yeah, it does look good. And there's a big one and a little one. You've probably seen it in the catalogue. The big one is available now. Or is it the other way? No, it is the big one that's available now. And then the little one, I'm not sure when that comes available actually. Just going to do myself some little trunks. I'm going to do a couple of trunks. Cut those out. Oh, you too? Do you mean you've got yourself the cutter? Yeah. Lovely. Oh, maybe you're a little bit tempted. I always have to think, because it takes a little while for the messages to come up on my screen. I have to think back to what I've said. You're a little bit tempted. I understand. One trunk. I don't need 3 trunks because my tree in the background is going to be hidden, so I need 2 trunks. I think we can actually stick these 2 bits together. Once you've done your images. So I'm going to stick this bit to the pear pizzazz. So as I said, you won't have a border at the top and the bottom, but you will on the sides. Now this one, we're stamping straight onto it with the sentiment, which is always a little bit scary. So we're going to put joy and cheer, but you're going to put whatever your sentiment is at the top here. So I think I'm going to do the sentiment first and then the position the trees afterwards, even though I might just have a little look to see where my trees are going to go to know how far down I can put the sentiment. So joy and cheer, where are you? Joy and cheer. Now you're going to have to be straight this time because else I was going to ruin my card. Right, I'm going to have a quick go and see whether that's straight. Yeah, that is straight. All right, okay. I won't be able to blame anything if it's not straight. Oh, there's my trunks. Don't lose those. Get that out of the way. Let's line this up. Stamp it up here. It's a little bit slanted. Oh, my head's in the picture. Sorry. It's a little bit crooked, but I don't think anyone will notice. Well, I've got red ink on me now. That's never good. Okay, so leave that out of the way. So once you've got your sentiment on, you're going to position and attach your trees. All right, remembering that we're going to put a ribbon around the bottom, so you don't want them too close to the bottom because your ribbon's going to go, I don't know, what's that, about 2 centimetres up maybe? So your cards are going to go like that and your ribbon's going to go along the bottom. And then, so they're slightly layered. I didn't put them on 3D foam, I just did them as is. Always put the front ones on 3D foam if you wanted to. Whoopsie. All right, here we go. Oh, moved them all. Ah, right. Well, that's funny. I need to go a bit further up. I'll bring that original tree down a little, just a little bit. Position this one. And then position this one. Okay, a bit like green mountains. And then I'm going to stick my little trunks on. One there. And one there. So we are going to use this again on another one, but we only need the length of a card. So you've got plenty of ribbon to play with on this one. It's always a little bit fiddly to make it do a bow. I don't want a huge bow. Make sure that's enough. Okay, let's put that aside. So again, I'm just going to put a bit on the back just to secure the ribbon. And the bow is going off to the side. Okay. Whoop. Okay. I just put a teeny bit of, I love runners, it's so useful. Stick that there. Ah, excellent. Now I can make a dilly little bow. Oh, can I? Yeah. mine. That was a bit tiny. Okay, I was a bit stingy with my ribbon. I think your bow looks a little bit better than mine does. So once you've tied your bow, you're going to attach it to the front of the card, and or you could put it centrally if you want, but mine is slightly off to the side, so it's probably, what's that, maybe 1.5 centimetres off this side and about 0.5 centimetre from the left hand side. Can you see? A bit like that, yeah. So stick that one on. Should be the length of your pattern paper. Okay. Now I ran out of red sparkles. You may still have some left because I gave you more than I gave myself in the first place. So I'm going to put little, I don't even know what colour they are. Sparkly ones? Well, they're not sparkles, they're sort of pink. Oh, I don't even know. Anyhow, they're what's going on the top of my trees. I think they're gold, aren't they? Now they're on the paper, I can see. Yeah, they look like they've got gold in them. There we go, card 3. So this is the next one we're going to make. Oh, I don't need red sparkles left. Oh well. So you are going to need the Pear Pizzazz card base. You are going to need this piece of pattern paper, which has got the green gingham on the back, this pattern on the front. All right. You will have a punched out white circle. You also need this piece of red cardstock, which is 10 by 14, basically just a bit smaller than your card base front. And you're going to need that leftover bit of ribbon from the last card. All right. So, first things first, fold that card base. There it is. Alright, once you've folded, you take your cardstock, oh no, paper, sorry, and we're going to cut it at 9.5 by 13.5 centimetres, alright? So that's 9.5 by 13.5. So it's 9.5 by 13.5. Okay, so once you've cut your piece of pattern paper, you're going to layer it onto your real red piece of cardstock, and there'll be a border around the outside. All right. And you're going to need a bit of spare Whisper White. I'm going to run out. I am going to run out. I've been over generous with my stamping. Oh no, darn it. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 small trees. Let's see if I've got anything that I can cut that out of. No. Yeah, I might get them down there. All right, I'm going to cut 2 smaller trees. There's the card. So I'm going to cut 1 in Mossy Meadow and 1 in Pear Pizzazz. I hope you don't all run out. Oh no, I thought I'd given you loads. See if I can do some cunning placements. Operation Save Paper. That's my Mossy Meadow. Here's my Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to try and squeeze it in next to it. I'm cutting this one out by hand because I don't think the littler triangles actually match this one too well. There's that one. Oh no, I'm going to be all right. Panic over. I'm going to be all right, I think. So I'm going to cut these by hand. One. I need to do myself a couple of trunks as well, so I can do that on spare paper. A little triangle here. My early espresso. Whoopsie. Ew. No, don't get inky. I was just thinking then, I wonder if there's a name for the person who comes up with the colour names for Stampin' Up. I wonder if they're employed specifically to do that. I wonder if they all brainstorm together. I don't mind coming up with colour names, that'd be quite fun. Just cut these ones out a minute. What would a colour name be? What would it be called? I bet it'd be something like Rainbow Scientist or something. I don't know. To keep my brain on the job. Okay, so that's my trees done. So when you're ready, we're going to well, you're going to think a little bit about where the circle's going to go. So the circle, the circle is going to go about there, and the ribbon, which you could put through the middle if you like, mine is going off to the side over here. So I think I'll probably just cheat a little bit and put that there. Try and make sure it's straight-ish. Oh, I've got a little bit left over. Lovely. So then I'm going to tuck it around the edge. Stick that down. rainbow scientist sounds like a great job. I mean, there's other silly named jobs, isn't there? So rainbow scientist. It'll be something like, oh, what about colorist technician? No. I don't know. Anyhow, so once you've got your ribbon, you're going to stick your circle on. As I said, mine is off to the side, but if yours is in the middle, you could actually centralise this whole thing, but I quite like things off to the side. So we're going to stick that down over the ribbon. Near to the top. Maybe we should stamp the sentiment. Can I get it out of that? That would be really good if I could. I reckon I can. So I've only got a little sentiment here, so again, depending on what you're doing. And I'm going to do mine in early espresso. That is not straight. Not that it totally matters in this instance because I'm going to cut it out. But oh, nice. Okay. I'm just going to cut that out so everything's ready. Then we can position as we go. Okay, so that's going to go off there, but slightly over one of the trees. So I put the pear pizzazz at the back. I've sort of lined that one up with the ribbon, and then that one's going to go. Oops. Over. And the sentiment's going to go like that. Right. So I'm going to stick my trees down. Straight would be good. Is that not straight? Oh, I don't know. That's not too bad, actually. And then North Sea Meadow over the top. It isn't straight. Excuse me. That's better. And then this one. Ooh. I'm going to stick my little trunk on. By the looks of it. There. Position my mossy meadow tree. Oops. There. Put my little trunk on. Ooh, they look a bit dodgy. Why do they look a bit weird? What's going on here? Okay, let's put my sentiment on. Something's not straight. Wow. I'm not totally sure which bit of it isn't straight. This is when I'm about to make an absolute pig's ear or something. Don't do this. Oh, that is better. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to stick my sentiment on. Oh, I don't have any red sparkles to go on mine, which is a crying shame. But I do have some gold ones left, so I will have to use gold. There we go. Oh, the red gives it a bit of something. Anyhow, is as it is now. Card 4. Oh, I haven't stuck it to the card base. I am sorry. I was thinking, where's that card base come from? You got to stick it to the card base. Oh my gracious. Sorry. There we go. That looks better. There we go. Last card, girls. Ah, that's why I needed the yellow stamp. I totally forgot about that little star right there. I shall get that ink in out in a minute. All right, so you are going to need a pair, for the last pair pizzazz. Actually, you should probably pretty much all you've got left. The pair pizzazz card base. You should have a piece of Mossy Meadow that's, which one's this measuring? 8.5 by 10.25, I think. Oh, yeah, it's the biggest piece that you've got. 10.25. No. Oh, obviously haven't measured this one. This is just the cup. It's your big piece of Mossy Meadow that's left, basically. And then you've got a piece of, another piece of Mossy Meadow and a piece of white that's going to sit pretty much on top of it with a little border. Then you should have a little strip of Mossy Meadow, which is going to be for our sentiment, if that works for you. I did wonder about this, it might not work. And you need the last little bit of your red twine and a star. You've probably got a spare star, but that's if you want to make another card. And I just need to get a teeny bit of yellow ink because that's how mine's working, but okay. Right, so first things first, guess what? We're going to fold a card base. Okay, and then with this piece of cardstock, no, pattern paper, sorry, my mistake, we're going to cut that at 14.5 by 10. So 10 centimetres, I'll cut that bit first. So 10 centimetres by 14.5, which should be just a little bit smaller than the large green piece of Mossy Meadow that you've got. Okay, so that should stick on there with a little, oh it does, brilliant, okay. So we're going to stick that on there. So this one we're going to do 3 trees. Well, I am. So I've got a large one and 2 of the smaller ones. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to do the smaller ones in Pear Pizzazz and the bigger one in Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to cut out my trees. All right, hoping that I've got, oh, I think I'm going to have enough. I think we're going to be all right. I'll do the big one first. I'm going to cut them out so it doesn't matter where I stamp them. So let's... Got a very long sentiment to stamp out as well, so maybe I should think ahead a little bit. Large Mossy Meadow. 2 small Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to try and get them. Slice in there, that's really irritating. Do one there. Oh no, I've done that badly, and I've stamped it badly. Ah! Oh, I might just have to get myself another piece of Whisper White. Okay, let's see how we do. I'll chop these ones by hand, I think. Okay, that's one. Two. Three. So I need to, oh my gracious, I'm really eking this out. Okay, so I need to do 3 trunks. One. Oh, did you hear my husband sneeze? 3 trunks. Cut those ones out as well. One. 2. 3. Okay. I'm assuming we can put this, yeah, we can stick this white piece onto the mossy meadow. No real reason why we can't stick that onto the front of there, I wouldn't think. Okay, let's stick the front onto the front of the card. This is about the size of the card front. Cut this a little bit big. Well, there you go. And then this can stick onto the mossy meadow. Right, and then we can start positioning these trees. So the big one, well, in my case, the big one is going to go in the middle. And then these little ones are going to stick behind. I'm going to swap those over because I've stamped that one really badly. So if I put this, I'm going to try and get them actually in the middle. If I line them up with that, that's a good idea, Julia. Line them up with that straight line there. Ooh, okay. Let me put the big tree in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to position these ones slightly underneath. I'm going to line it up with that line there. So I know they're in the same sort of place, hopefully, anyway. Best laid plans and all that. Can't get underneath. Don't be annoying. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to stick my trunks on. Still like the paper. That's going to go like that. Okay. Now my sentiment, so I don't know, this is where yours is going to look very different. I've got a really long sentiment that's going to go here. Now obviously if yours doesn't work like that, which I don't know, you're going to have a little think about how you're going to do yours. I mean, maybe your sentiment might be shorter, and maybe it needs to come down, and then you could shift the whole ribbony bit down maybe to here. Or you could have it right in the middle of the tree maybe, if it's not very long. I don't know without seeing it. So I'm just going to go ahead and you decide how you're going to do yours. And I'm doing mine in real red ink. Where's the red? Oh yeah, that should be fine. There was me stressing I didn't have enough white. Did look a little bit touch and go for a while there. I'm just going to stamp that on here. Cut that out. That's one of the good things. I was just looking to see if that was dry, because obviously it's red and it's a pretty serious ink colour. But stamping up inks dry so quick, which is really good. Now I've got a little tiny star that I'm going to stamp, if you can see on this sentiment here. It came in the ink in the stamp set and I was like, why ever not? We shall use it. Oh, hang on, let's have a look at this. So is that the right size? Okay. No, so that needs to be cut down anyway. So I'm going to chop that down so it's got enough. My cutting is not very straight today. I have to say, it often isn't with lives. I don't know. Right. That's a bit better. Let me just look. Alright, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to cut a teeny little banner in the end here. Well, I'm going to do that badly. Honestly. How Not to Craft by Julia. There we go. Alright, that's fine. Oh, let me do my little tiny heart. Maybe that'll fit. Oh dear. Hey, cute. And for my star, I used, does that say? Pineapple Punch, which I think is the same colour as your yellow star. So I'm going to stick this on here and then I'm going to cut it down to size. So it needs a little border. Down a bit. Ooh, I'm going to cut this down and try and make that banner shape at the end. It could be interesting, seeing as it's not in the least bit equal. That's going to go on there. So this is going to be, I was going to say it's a bow, maybe it is a bow. It's quite a large bow and it's going to sit underneath. Here we go, rabbit ears. I don't know if I did do it. I don't think this is how I did it. Oh, I definitely had a lot more red twine when I did it. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Stop pulling out. So that's going to sit behind like that, and the sentiment's going to go over the top on 3D foam. All right. Okay, let's stick that. Let's put my 3D foam on the sentiment. Let's sit over that. So we need to stick the ribbon down, the twine down somehow or other. Okay. So once you're happy with all that, it's going to stick on your card front. Wow, well that was fortuitous. My snail just ran out. And the last little star goes on the top of the big tree. My husband's creeping through.
Hey everybody.
And that's it. The last card. She got quite a lot of how much pattern paper was it left? Got quite a lot of pattern paper left. So I was thinking that if anybody wanted some more cardstock to make more cards, just let me know. I can order you a pack, or we can. You can. I don't know whether you're allowed to share packs amongst you. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you know, if you wanted the red or you wanted the Pear Pizzazz, the Pear Pizzazz is probably a good card base colour. Then I can order you some, or even if you wanted more paper. You know, because it is lovely paper. So the next class is the end of, it's like, what is it, September the 26th, and that is scrapbooking, and it's the Gilded Autumn scrapbooking class, and the papers are beautiful. But if you fancied the kit and you didn't want to do scrapbooking, there's no reason why you couldn't buy it anyway, if you just wanted to use it to make cards. So yeah, so let me know if you'd like to join in, or just have the kit, or just like the paper. The paper's beautiful. But other than that, it's been lovely having a crafty afternoon with you all, and I will see you soon.